Hey friends, welcome back to Bill's Library. So today I want to share with you guys my 2024 goals. I have spent a good part of this day writing them out, finalizing things, and so I want to share with you guys, but before I do, I have a question for you. So one of my struggles in keeping track of the book challenges that I want to do is I don't have a good way to sort of organize them. In the past, on my blog, I will put up all these links of all the challenges that I'm going to do throughout the year, but then when it comes time to sort of record them, I'll make a blog post, I put in my review, and then I have to link all of those challenges. I've got to go back and find them and put them all in there, and it's just kind of overwhelming. It makes me not want to do the challenges anymore. Now that I'm on BookTube more than I'm on my blog, I probably won't worry so much about keeping track of all those links and everything, but I am wondering what kind of systems you guys use just to keep track of the different challenges and where you are in those challenges. The only thing that I have seen from other booktubers so far are Excel spreadsheets, which I don't know why I struggle. I think the information, I think it's too much stuff on the page, right? It's too many lines and then too many words that are really close together, and it's just kind of overwhelming to me. But I'm not completely opposed to it, but if there's a better way out there, I would love it. For now, I've got things written on a notebook and it looks like this, and it's not super, I don't know. I just feel like that's going to be kind of overwhelming too. So let me know what you guys do. I just would like some ideas, some inspiration. Maybe I will do something different. All right, but on to my goals. So first thing I want to talk about are my reading goals, my writing goals, and then I'll go into other life goals. So that way you guys can turn it off if you only want to hear the reading stuff. But my first reading goal is to read 80 books. That is my Goodreads goal for this year. So last year my Goodreads goal was 60 books. I really struggled this year to read until I discovered audiobooks in my car. So I will get to that in a minute, but that really helped me to bump up my reading a lot. But I think that overall, 2023 has just been a super mediocre reading year for me. I have had a hard time finding things that I enjoyed. I've had a hard time getting really on any certain kind of a genre kick. In the past, I have just loved reading Victorian literature. I've read so much, but I know there's still a ton out there to read that I am super interested in. I have been interested in any kind of nonfiction that involves England in any point of history. And so I wouldn't say I'm getting burnt out. I think I'm running out of ideas. So I think that I'm going to expand my horizons this year as far as my reading genres, but there are still a few that are just completely off limits for me. But I definitely want to read more American history. Like I said, have focused a lot on British history and have neglected the writing of my own country. So a lot of American literature, I should say, not even just history, but just American literature in general. I really would like to focus more on this year. Another genre that I never read is poetry. I just really don't. And so I have made a commitment this year to read from 10 poets. Right now I am going through a book of Emily Bronte's poems that my husband got me a few weeks ago as a gift, and I am loving them. And so I am slightly restoring my faith in poetry, but she is my favorite female author also, so, you know, good place to start. So yeah, 10 poets, and then I also want to add some short stories into the mix. So that's another thing I haven't really gotten into in my earlier years, but I am finding that I really enjoy short stories because I'm finding that my attention span is much shorter than it used to be. So being able to read a short story and be done with it in one day makes me feel like I've accomplished something, makes me feel like I'm reading more, even if I'm not necessarily reading more pages than usual. I am engaged more, I think. And then I really want to read more fables and fairy tales, and I talked about this in an earlier video. I have a ton of fairy tale and fable books, just between my kids' school stuff and things that my parents gave me when I was a kid. I just have a ton, and so I'd really like to read from those. And I'm also challenging myself. And then finally, I'm also challenging myself to read a play. If there's anything that I dislike worse than reading poetry, it's reading plays. But a few weeks ago I did read Charlie's Aunt by, I don't know who, but I was recommended that from watching books and things, and I did enjoy it. It was a good play, so I'm glad that I did read that, and I will look for at least one more play. Alright, and then as far as challenges go, I think I'm just going to take it month by month. I am hosting Nathanuary in January, where you read one book or just work, short story or novel by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And I think that's gonna be super fun. And then I'm also doing the Brighter Winter Reading Challenge. That one can be found on Instagram. It's an account called Daughters of Promise, and it's something that I've just kind of followed them for a long time. I really love their Brighter Winter Instagram account. The photos are gorgeous, super inspiring, and every year they do a reading challenge just in January and February. They sent out these grids, reading grids that look like that, and I think you can still sign up, I'm not sure, but you guys can check that out. Brighter Winter on Instagram. And so all the challenges, I love doing these challenges because they get me to sort of branch out and read things that I wouldn't normally read. They get me to kind of search around my TBR and find things that fit. Which is what I've spent the afternoon doing today. And so I will actually make a whole video on that reading challenge here pretty soon. But other than that, I think I'm just going to take it month by month. So I'm looking forward to doing Victober. I'm looking forward to doing Nonfiction November, but I'm wondering what other kinds of things there are out there. If you are looking for reading challenges, there is a booktuber called Pages with Paige, and I will link her down below. She actually just announced my Nathanuary challenge, so thank you, Paige. And she does kind of a roundup of all of the challenges every month, makes a video, and then we can kind of go to her to find out, you know, what kind of stuff there is out there to do. I really want to focus on no obligation reading. So being able to just DNF something without feeling like, oh, I probably should read that because I spent money or somebody gave it to me as a gift. And I want to be able to just say, nope, I'm done with you. Moving on, because life's too short to read bad books. I like to read more audiobooks rather than just watching mindless videos. A lot of times I will just turn on something mindlessly while I'm driving, and I really just want to get out of that habit and either watch booktube videos or listen to an audiobook. A lot of times when I listen to audiobooks, I will listen to something that I don't think I actually want to read in real life, like Treasure Island. Treasure Island is one of those books that I have tried to read so many times and it bores the snot out of me. So I'm going to listen to it on the audiobook and hopefully be able to get through it better. If somebody's being really animated and there's like yo-ho-hos in the background, hopefully I can get through Treasure Island a little better. And then I really just overall want to spend more time reading than scrolling. So a couple of weeks ago, I got an alert on my phone. I get an alert every Sunday that tells me, you know, like my time spent scrolling. And it was down 61%. So since joining YouTube, my scrolling has gone down 61%. I've got off of Facebook. I only go on there to post, you know, my videos. Anyway, yeah. So some of my non-reading goals, writing. So in some cases, this idea of writing kind of falls under that category of obligation because I made a couple of commitments regarding publishing this season, and I don't really want to do it, and I don't have to do it, but I just have not been in the mood to work on those lately, and so I don't even want to add them to my like goals because I feel like it's going to stress me out to have that obligation on me. So I guess just like I want to have no obligation reading, I would like to have a no obligation writing as well. As a freelancer, sometimes it's difficult, right? Because you really want to take the work when you get it, but really, I don't honestly need the work right now. I just kind of keep doing stuff to sort of keep myself, you know, out there and busy and doing things. But I do write for a magazine, and I can submit articles as much as I want, as often as I want. And so I'm going to try to work on one article every 2 weeks. I think that will be really good to just kind of have this backlog of articles that I can send in to her, and then she will publish them as she wants to. So that one, I will make a goal, but everything else is just gonna be like, I don't know, maybe I'll feel like it later. Right now, I don't. I do want to update my own personal journal once weekly. I can get really far behind, and I keep notes on my phone of all the things that I know I need to write in there, but I am really behind. So I would like to be better about my journaling. I would like to write out the whole Torah. So the Torah is the instructions that God gave us in the first 5 books of the Bible. I like to write all of that out. It just kind of helps me remember the things that He has requested for me to do. I would like to write out reading notes when I'm reading a book rather than typing them into my phone like I usually do. I would really like to just write them out. And I wanted to show you guys these little books. I forgot to get them, so hold on. So my husband has been teaching himself how to do bookbinding lately, and he made me these two little books. Aren't these the sweetest, adorable? This one is green flannel, and it is so soft and so nice to hold. If you can kind of tell, like he knows what's up. Like he did such a good job on these. This one is like a orange linen, and super just pretty, and it's so well done. He did so good. So I think eventually he's going to start putting this up for sale. So if he does, I'll let you guys know. But those are what I want to use to write notes as I'm reading. So kind of like my book journal, you know, note journal for that. And then I can sort of write them up into a proper book review to post online. But that's what I'm planning on doing with those. And he is going to make me some more. So I'll show you when he gets them done. They're super pretty. As far as my YouTube channel, really, my ministry channel is kind of just as I feel led to put things up, so I don't really have any proper, you know, big goals there. With this channel, I'm pretty new, so I'm just sort of getting my feet wet and getting inspired by other booktubers. So I just kind of want to keep, you know, like making relationships with people, getting to know other booktubers, getting inspired by them, stealing some of their ideas and making my own videos. And just sort of play around, just throw out some stuff and see what sticks, right? I really, of course, would love to grow the channel, or I really would like it just to grow organically. Don't let that stop you from sharing my channel though, just want to say. But I don't want to do anything to sort of like force, you know, trolls or spam or whatever. I just kind of want to see what happens, and we'll see what happens. So now we'll talk about wellness. So I really do want to focus on my physical and mental health this year. So years ago, when I was kind of trying to work on this whole people-pleasing thing that I used to have a big problem with, I had made this New Year's goal that I was going to have a no obligation year. I don't really remember how well I did with all of that, but I know that it was the catalyst to help me learn how to put up boundaries and manage my time commitments better. I don't really have that people-pleasing mentality anymore about the people who live outside my home, but I do find myself struggling a bit at home now. Most of my kids are older kids or adults, and I'm kind of feeling a pressure to kind of mold my life in a way that works for one person in the moment, and then another person in the next moment, right? But it doesn't ever actually really work out for the family as a whole, if that makes sense. It really stresses me out to try to juggle all of these things. And much of the problem is that I'm not carrying those lessons about boundaries that I learned so long ago, and all those lessons about time commitments, I'm not carrying them into my own household now. So that's my biggest goal really this year, is peace in my home and peace in myself, remembering what it means to set boundaries, even if it is with the people that I love the most. There are some personal health and attitude changes that I do need to make in myself, but also just in how I manage the responsibilities in my life. I need to think more big picture when I'm dealing with an issue and not just continue putting out small fires every time I turn around. All right, and then lastly on my list, I have written discovery. So last October, I made myself kind of a commitment that I was going to try to do new things, like one new thing every day for a little while. And so I made a list every day for quite a while of new things that I either hadn't done in a long time or hadn't done ever. And there's quite a few cool things on that list. So I want to carry that thinking into 2024. I have some travel plans, both in and out of the country. I'm planning on going to England a couple of times. I'm planning on visiting Michigan a couple of times. I'm planning on going out to Oregon to see my mom, and I'm even thinking about taking a trip into western Oklahoma to do a little digging regarding some ancestors that I have a map, but I don't have an address. My best friend actually bought me this travel journal for that birthday, and didn't even realize, I don't think, that I had all of these plans. But it's got these pages where you can put in writing or, you know, different scrapbooky sort of things, and then a little pocket here for cards, and even a zip pocket for just little souvenir findings. The cover is just this nice leather with this tooled flowers on it. It's so pretty, and so I think I'm going to visit new places and write about them in this little travel journal. And even just some of the new things that I do that I've never done before. I would like to keep track in my little book there. Another goal that I have regarding discovery is to visit 15 new to me bookshops in this coming year. So whether they are independently owned or corporate, it can't be like a chain that I've already been in. So like all the Barnes and Nobles in the area, that doesn't count. But 15 new to me bookshops, I am pretty sure that I could find all of those within a couple hour radius of where I live. But I know that I'll be out of the country and in other states, so hopefully I'll have a chance to visit some in those further away places. I'm really excited about 2024. I love to set goals. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me positive. It keeps me looking forward to something when I just feel like my days are so mundane and the same thing every single day. So I am really excited about the goals that I've set for myself. I think they are attainable, but a little challenging. So I would love to know about your 2024 goals. Have you made a goal video or a vlog? Go ahead and link that in the description. If not, just tell us what are some of the goals that you have for this coming year. I'd love to hear what you have planned. It always inspires me to hear what other people are doing. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.